Let's take you to the skies of Durban as well. It's where our reporter Dasen Thathiah has been reporting from a helicopter from early this morning as well. Dasen Thathiah, come back down to you now just after 8:30. Where are you? Are you still in the air or are you now on the ground? What are you seeing?
Night and perhaps information on some arrests.
Yeah, well, since the evening, we were expecting that the protest is going to start, as they said, at midnight, around 12 a.m. But we started seeing some activities early in the evening last night, but very few activities where kids would just run on the road. They put some branches on the road, they put stones, but police were very fast in responding to such. So other than that, when the midnight came, I think more newsworthy thing that we had was in Countrywide district, where the community that lives close to the N2 were able to put some branches, tree branches on the road, and they banned those branches. So, but we were able to respond to that as well. We just had an incident where there was a shooting incident to a truck driver, a truck that was traveling towards Mozambique. We do not know whether it's a part of the protest or it's just a criminality that's happening there, so we cannot conclude for now. And also there was a vehicle that was hijacked in the same area. And that's just about what happened in the north. There was a small incident also with, I think, 2 branches that were put on the road on the N3 just south of Moy River, which they also set a light. There's a small village at the south of Moy River, but the police were able to respond quickly on that and they removed that. So, but in Hibadin, in the south, we had 2 vehicles that blocked the road. We confiscated those cars and we arrested, and we will try by all means to make sure the owner will never get those cars back again, if all possible, because they knew what they were doing. So we'll try and forfeit them to the state as much as we can. So there's few arrests that we've effected for people that were blocking the road, refused to disperse even after they were warned to get out of the road. But other than that, it's just normal crime initiatives that we've been having. We've been recovering firearms, as we're doing stop and searches and the likes.
I just want to quickly go back to the truck driver, General. Was that truck driver killed or did he survive that attack?
Yeah, well, he was not injured, fortunately. He survived. The other person, the owner of the other vehicle that was hijacked, is the one that was injured when they hijacked this car.
Brigadier, sorry, Lieutenant General, my apologies. Going forward now, we do expect that there might be more protests this evening. Are you ready for deployment? How many officers are going to see in the streets?
I'm sure you will have heard when we announce our operations. We expect these protests to take place today, so our deployment will have been before these protests, as we started on Friday, and today we continue operations, and beyond today we remain alert because we do not know what is it that they might want to do. It's quiet now, it's very quiet all over, but I think they had a bit of a challenge with regard to the transportation to move some of these protesters to come to the city. I've said it before and I'm saying it again that as KZN police, we never receive any notice for any march. Had we received a notice of a march, we would have planned it and planned the route that they were going to use. So as such, we just don't have any notice for any march. We don't know what is it that they're going to do next, but we remain alert, and our members are all over, and I'm sure you might have seen that communities are also out there, not blocking anybody, but just standing on the side of the road, being alert, and just to keep eyes and ears and be able to mobilize the police as when incident happens.
Commissioner, do you have any number of the protesters that have been arrested? I do know that some were arrested in Nanda Festa this morning.
Yeah, well, as I come in here, I cannot tell exactly the exact number that was arrested. I know of the 2 in Jozini, next to the area where the blockage was on N2. I know a couple of them in the south. For now, that I know at the top of my head is about 10 protesters, but I'm not sure what has been the latest since I think in the past 2 hours I've been engaged, so I never really got to check the stats.
General, I just want to find out from you if you can give us any information on those disruptions that were reported on the N3 in particular. I think it was Bergville, if I'm not mistaken. There was something also at Mooi River. Do you have any further information on exactly what transpired there?
No, there was no disruption in Bergville. The only disruption, as I say, it's just south of Mooi River. But also it wasn't much of a disruption. I think somebody took a few branches of the tree and put it on the road and set it alight. And they ran away. So the police came and removed them, and it was over in less than 5 minutes. So, but there might have been stories yesterday with regard to EFF that gathered at Mos Mabhida, and they were seen in buses and on the N3 driving. It was not really EFF. We had the Pick and Pay Union, which was hosting their own event at Mos Mabhida. We policed that. Everyone has got to ride together. It so happened, unfortunately, they were all wearing red T-shirts and red caps. So from the eyes of the public, when you see red, then you'll assume that it is this political party, and yet it was not. So they did what they did yesterday. After that, they got into the buses and they traveled to different parts of the country.
Provincial Commissioner, just a question from my side. This morning there were disruptions in Inanda. The M25 in particular was closed off. It has been opened though, but EFF members are saying they are going to close that road again. There were Nyalas and several police on the scene. Will those police be stationed there throughout the course of the day?
We'll try by all means to cover all the critical areas. That area specifically has got a shopping center, a small shopping center for the community there, and a garage. During 2021 unrest, it was one of the badly affected areas. So the community structures in the area, which is the CPF and Committee in Blue that we work with, they've been alert, and because we told them if they destroy this, we can't expect the police to be in every corner in this province. We need communities to also stand guard and be able to protect their properties. And when they see something, they alert the police, and that's what happened. We were not there, and the community saw something because we're not far. We have got teams that are moving around. That's why the police were quick there.
Sorry, Commissioner, can you just talk to us about the toll gates? Are people able to go through our tolls? Are they safe? Do we have patrols there?
KZN is open for business, so everything happens as normal. It's unfortunate that majority of people might have taken leave today because it's anyway the holiday. But when you drive around, I'm sure you go to the beachfront around town, you'll see a number of buses that have got a lot of tourists that are here in Durban. That tells you that people are coming here to enjoy themselves, and we'll make sure that they enjoy themselves until they leave.
Commissioner, how much has this entire operation cost to the police in KZN?
Well, I can't put figures for now because I have not necessarily do the maths, but I haven't done the maths on that. The figures of those that we mobilize, the members that ordinarily they would have been on rest days that we have to call in so that they are able to help us in protecting the citizens. We spend over 30 million rands for that, just KZN alone. So you can imagine, because we have to pay them special allowance for them to be on duty. There's obviously a lot of other costs involved, the fuel costs, as we are patrolling, aircraft cost money when it flies. So there's a lot of other costs that we'll be able to calculate that when the operation is done.
Commissioner, we see that you're about to take off. Can you share with us your location? Where will you be flying over?
Now, it's an operational flight. So it's an operational flight. It's not a tour. I can't necessarily tell you where I'm going now. It's an operational flight. But really, I just want to do an assessment of the situation around the province, focusing mainly in those areas that were badly affected in 2021, and also our strategic critical infrastructure that we've identified, including national key points. So I want to just have a feel that all is good there, because I can only be able to confirm our forces where they are deployed if I see them. It's one thing to see it on paper, but it's another when you go around and you get to confirm that they are indeed in their posts.
Thank you very much.
There was one more for isiZulu. Ask the question, but hey.
Michelle, thank you.
Well, there you have it, Leanne. Today, I'm sure Commissioner Thathiah in KwaZulu-Natal, secretary in one series of plays on the ground here with regard to Michelle nationwide protesting and also the operational behind this, and also how much it costs.
Right, looks like we've lost that signal through to Durban with Dasen Thathiah for the moment as well. Just getting a sense from the from the Provincial Police Commissioner, who's about to take off, I understand. But what we've been hearing from Dasen Thathiah, when he was up in the air, it looks like everything as far as the majority of KZN and Durban is concerned, it looks like it's calm for the moment. I just want to make sure I update that correctly. There was one little incident on the M25 near eNCA. There were a couple of burning tyres on the road. Police and private security very quick to deal with that. But overall, it looks like it's a calm start to Durban and KZN.